Hey guys, now I know I said I was going to come back with Undertale, but seeing how I'm still on the pacifist route, that review can wait for another day. Anyway, why do people think that the classic games are only good games in the Sonic series? I mean, don't get me wrong, the classic games are great. Like Sonic 3 and Knuckles is one of my favorite video games of all time, but there are still good modern games like Sonic Adventure. That was actually a pretty good start to Sonic's 3D career. There's also Sonic Heroes, Sonic Unleashed, one of my personal favorites, Sonic Generations, and hey guys, and welcome to my retrospective on Sonic Mania. This game was released back in 2017, and the hype for this game was unreal. Seriously guys, I've never seen this much hype for a Sonic game ever since... When I first saw the teaser trailer, I was actually pretty hyped. Two Sonic games were being released in the same year, while one was a leveler to classic Sonic fans, the other one was kind of a cash grab. Okay. I'll go further in depth about my thoughts on Forces in a later review. This game was released back in 2017 on PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and Steam. For this review, I'll be reviewing the Nintendo Switch version. It was developed by Christian Whitehead, the man who was responsible for the remix of Sonic 1, 2, and CD for Android and iOS. Headcanon, who I did not know about until this game, after doing a little bit of research, this was the only game they developed for. And last but not least, Pandora Games, which I couldn't find any other games that they developed. So, is this game any good? It's something that I can recommend to you? Let's find out. This game was supposed to bring Sonic back to his 2D roots. Anyway, let's start off with the story. Sonic and Tails are going to Angel Island once they discover a forest. But then Eggman's new inventions, the Horrible Heavies, pick up a Phantom Ruby. Before the heroes can make anything out of it, the Horrible Heavies activate the Phantom Ruby, and now it's up to them to collect all the Chaos Emeralds to defeat Eggman. The story is pretty simplistic and by the numbers, and honestly, I'm okay with that. I mean, story isn't everything. How's the game play? I'm gonna say this right now, guys. Out of any Sonic game, I think this one has the best control. Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles control just as fluid as they did in 1994. You go through 12 zones with the difficulty ramping up as you progress. Some old and some new, and yeah, there's a lot more old here. Out of all the 12 stages, only 4 of them are original. As for the characters themselves, Sonic controls a lot like his Genesis counterpart. He can run fast, jump high, and the one thing that's different is that he has a new move called the Drop Dash, which makes him spin dash in midair. I really enjoy this move. It's really helpful during time attack mode, and if you just want to speedrun some of these levels. Tails is basically the same too. He can fly, which makes it easy to skip some of these levels. Knuckles, like Sonic 3 and Knuckles, can go through his own adventures, being the hard mode. Overall, the gameplay is pretty solid. As for playing through these stages, you can find the giant rings from Sonic 3 and Knuckles and enter the special stages. These special stages are kind of like the UFO ones from Sonic CD, but it controls better. Here you chase the UFO to get the Chaos Emerald, you collect rings to increase your time, and you collect blue spheres to increase your speed. I also kind of like these special stages. I love how there's some sort of challenge in collecting the Chaos Emeralds. My only problem is that when you get hit by bombs or spikes, you don't have any invisibility frames, so it's really easy to get comboed by spikes. From Sonic 3 are the blue spear stages. These are the bonus stages where you have 50 rings or more to go through a checkpoint, and it's nice to see another bonus stage come back other than a half-pipe from Sonic 2. Once you complete a bonus stage with all the spears, you get a silver medal. Completing with both spears and rings will get you a gold medal. Getting them all will unlock something that I'll get to later. When you complete the second act of the stage, you get to fight a boss, and some of these actually caught me by surprise, like the one in Chemical Plant where you fight Robotnik in a Mean Beam battle. And Hydrocity Zone, instead of Eggman being the boss, you're the boss, now you can give him payback. My favorite boss would have to be the one that gets the Egg Ravine. I love how Robotnik and the Horrible Heavies join forces, which makes it one of my favorite bosses in Sonic history. Power-ups are back to including the Elemental Shields, and they feel exactly like they did in Sonic 3. There's even some new things added, like the Fire Stroke can burn wood to uncover secret passages, and if that's not exciting enough for you, how about it will ignite the fire in Oil Ocean? I am the god of hellfire! Anyway, for the completionists out there, if you collect all the Chaos Emeralds, you can become Super Sonic. Super Sonic can run faster, jump higher, and after 25 years, Super Tails and Super Knuckles finally make their grand return. Super Tails can jump higher, run faster, and even fly faster, but sadly he doesn't have his flicky army of death with him. Super Knuckles can run faster, jump higher, and glide faster, so nothing really changed there. So let's talk about the medals. Collecting all of them will unlock a sound test, a Mean Bean minigame, and a bonus stage minigame. In the main game, you can unlock new moves from Sonic 3 and CD. From Sonic 3, you can get the Insta Shield, which allows you to protect yourself from enemies in mid-air. From Sonic CD, you can get the Super Peel Off, which allows you to run at full speed. And then there's Debug Mode, which allows you to play around after all that hard work. My favorite mode is the Ant Knuckles mode, which allows you to play all the stages with the AI controlling as Knuckles. You can even have two Knuckleses on the same screen. Once you beat it, you get a secret ending that had me cracking up the first time I saw it. Before I talk about the graphics, there was DLC in late 2018 in the form of Sonic Mania Plus, where there was a lot to offer. There's a new game mode, 2 playable characters, and a little tweaks in the graphics. 2 playable characters are Mighty and Ray. Mighty originated from the game Knuckles Chaotix on a pathetically short-lived 32X on for the Sega Genesis, and Ray's first appearance was in the arcade game Sega Sonic the Hedgehog. Mighty has his ground pound attack, and when he's in his ball form, he's invulnerable to spikes and hazards, so he's pretty much the easy mode of the game. Overall, I really like playing as Mighty, and he's one of my favorite characters to play as. Ray can glide, but not like Knuckles though. His gliding is more like the wing cap from Super Mario 64, and if you're good enough, you can get really good air. It's nice to see some of these characters come back in the spotlight after so many years. I just wish they had their own intro. Not kidding guys, everyone except Knuckles has the same intro going in the Angel Island. Anyway, the new mode of the game is called Encore Mode, where the stages kind of look like the Bad Fusion from Sonic CD. In this mode, you don't have lives. Well, not traditionally though. You switch between 5 characters. Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Mighty, and Ray. Those are alive. Lose all of them, game over. Encore mode also comes with new special stages, which can seriously fuck right off! These special stages are a lot more harder than Mania mode. They were especially annoying because they weren't in the places that I'm used to, or I just couldn't find them. And when I did, I got my ass kicked, so I just didn't bother with the special stages. Anyway, there's now a 4-player competition, and yeah, it's not much different from 2-player. I just wish there was online multiplayer because this game really could have benefited from it. For the graphical tweaks, there is actually a lot. Let's talk about Super Sonic. Now every frame of animation contains Super Sonic's look. In earlier games, if it wasn't his running animation or his idle animation, Super Sonic would revert back to his normal state, but he will still be flashing red. Now, every sprite is the same. All the stages show how the character got to the next zone. Before the update, only a couple stages did that. There's nothing to expect for the bosses except for Metal Sonic. To beat Silver Sonic, you gotta spin dash into him so he can bounce off Metal Sonic. Now when you destroy the Silver Sonic, it releases projectiles to hit Metal Sonic. As for the graphics, I mean, come on, this has to be the best looking 2D Sonic games out there. I mean, the Genesis game looks pretty great, specifically the third one, but this just looks really good. The sprites look great, the level design is colorful, everything just looks great. You know what else is great? The soundtrack. I mean, do I really have to talk about the soundtrack? It's one of my favorite classic Sonic soundtracks, right next to the Japanese soundtrack of Sonic CD. I love every song in this game. Press Guarding Act 1 is a great tune. I just listen to the Studiopolis theme all the time. My favorite song in this game would have to be the final boss with the Egg Ravine. The composer, T. Lowe, did a great job on the soundtrack. He's also the same guy who composed Some Call Me Johnny's theme song. This is one of my favorite Sonic games of all time. While I don't have nostalgia goggles for classic Sonic as other fans do, this is definitely the best Sonic game of the decade. This game is kind of like the Insane Trilogy. This gives a near-perfect Sonic game. Like, Christian Whitehead did a really fantastic job. Like, seriously, Sega hired this man. I'm going to leave the link in the description below. You have 3 choices. The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, Banjo-Kazooie, and Metal Gear Solid. The game that gets the most votes will be the one that we'll be reviewing. Votes in the comments do not count. I just feel like I need to verify that. You take the poll. If one doesn't win, doesn't mean I won't be reviewing it. I'll just be saving it for another time. Voting ends on February 8th. Anyway guys, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace! Honestly, I kinda like these special stages. I love how there's some sort of challenge into collecting these Chaos Emeralds. My only problem is that when you get hit by bombs or spikes, you don't have any invisibility frames, so it's really I almost got that on the first try. Tails is basically the same too. He fly... You know, if you mess up the easiest line in the entire review, that's when you know you're a failure at life. Alright. This game was supposed to bring Sonic back to his 2D roots. Anyway, let's start off with the story. Sonic and Tails are going to Angel Island to discover a forest, but then Eggman's new... Oh wait, I spelled Eggman wrong. Egg... Eggamon. Eggaman. That's what I typed. Anyway, for the completionists out there, if you collect all the Chaos Thermals, you can become Super Sonic. Super Sonic runs faster, jumps higher, and here's what I... Bleh. Anyway, for the completionists, if you collect all the Chaos Thermals, you can become Super Sonic. Super Sonic runs faster, jumps higher, and here's what I really love. He can drop dash when he makes the screen shake. Oh wait. Well, I got that completely wrong. Alright. Alright. So let's talk about the medals. Collecting all of them will unlock the Sound Test, a Mean Bee minigame, and a bonus game minigame. In the main game, you can unlock new moves from Sonic 3 and CD. For Sonic 3, you can get his Insta Shield, which allows you to protect yourself from enemies in mid-air. For Sonic CD, you get the Super Peel Off, which allows you to run at full speed. And then there's Debug Mode, which allows you to play around after all that hard work. I can't believe I said that all on the first try. Before I talk about the graphics, there is a DLC in late 2018 in the form of Sonic Mania Plus, where there was a lot to offer. There was 2 new game modes. No, not 2. Alright. Last line. Here we go. This is one of my favorite Sonic games of all time. I mean, while I don't really have the nostalgic glasses... Fuck. Okay. This is one of my favorite Sonic games of all time. While I don't really have the nostalgic goggles for classic Sonic as other fans do, this is... Oh, excuse me.